Sanctification is our other $5 word for today. And it comes to us with its own strange geometry of grace. At the cross, God made us holy. After the cross, he calls us to be holy. At the cross, he made us holy. After the cross, he calls us to be holy. The penalty for sin is taken care of, but the power of sin in our lives dies over time. The penalty is done, but the power of it can take many, many years to disappear. Romans chapter 8 and verse 29. For those whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, in order that he might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. To be conformed, to be sanctified. This is the ongoing work that God does in us. Just as the art historian painstakingly dusts and brushes and cleans the masterpiece, so God lovingly brings out his image in us. We're not earning anything here. Salvation is done already the moment we accept it. We get the trophy before the race. But what's happening is Jesus bringing us into his own life, drawing out the image in us of who he created us to be. I remember serving as a seminary intern at a sober living house many years ago. I taught a Bible study to folks coming out of addiction, many of whom were there and living there and just out of prison, and they were there to heal. And I'll never forget what one woman shared. She lived a very rough existence with addiction and abuse and homelessness as the norm, and now found herself living in a house where the lights never flickered off, where the heat worked, where there was food in the cupboard. And she said, my favorite thing about living here is that I wake up and I'm not scared. That I wake up and I'm not afraid. At salvation, we have woken up in the safe place. Our destiny is secure. And in sanctification, we learn to live not scared. We learn to live outside of that fear that we've known so long. We learn to live without hiding behind our egos. We learn to live without giving in to our numbing addictions. We learn to live fearlessly and freely serving others instead of focusing on ourselves. We learn to live under the good master and away from the worst master we have ever known, ourselves. We learn to live trusting that God will shelter us and keep us, and that he's drawing out his image in us as we daily take up our cross and follow him. Amen.